On behalf of Ultimate Canada, we would like to begin by acknowledging the land that we will be playing on over the course of the next week. The Peel region, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and home to the Métis. It was most recently the territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. We are grateful to have the opportunity to play on this land, and by doing so, we give our respects to its first inhabitants. We would now like to welcome our junior athletes to enter the stadium, led by our Team Canada athletes who will be representing Canada at the World Junior Ultimate Championships next week. I believe if you can all turn to your left and take a look. Representing Ontario, we have Ignite, Night Fury Soars, Rogue Squadron, Stud, TORO, Uproar, and Wicked West. Up next, representing Quebec, we have Arsenic, Origine, and Titan. Following them, representing Nova Scotia, New Scotland Blues. Up next, representing New Brunswick, High Tide. Next, representing Manitoba, we have Manitou, Masters of Flying Objects, Red River Rebellion, and Spitfire. Now, representing British Columbia, we have Bonfire, Eclipse, Mischief, Rolling Thunder, Savage, Vanguard, Vintage, and Vortex. Representing Saskatchewan, we have Prairie Blaze and Wheaties. Now, representing Alberta, the Cannons. And finally, representing Newfoundland and Labrador, NL Score. Woo! Woo! ladies and gentlemen, if we could all just squeeze in a little bit closer to your neighbor, as we're trying to sit 1,000 junior athletes at the moment. So if we can squeeze in just a little bit, that would be fantastic.
just a videographer. We're doing a live stream.
Oh, okay, you're the guy I watched then. So you're filming all the games on this pitch?
Okay. It looks like we are just about seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to formally welcome our entertainment for the night. These talented musicians have performed for the fans of several major sports teams, including the Blue Jays, the Red Blacks, and the Argonauts. Now, to give to a contemporary twist on traditional drum lines, please put your hands together for the Hitmen. A big thank you to the Hitmen for that incredible performance. We would also like to welcome Cut Camps, the presenting partner of the CUC Junior Division. Please stop by their booth Monday through Wednesday to say hello, and they're available to speak with coaches and players upon request. So please, to give us a few words about CUC Camp, please welcome Java.
Hello there, CUC. How you doing tonight? Let me hear ya. So we are, as you know, we are originally based out of the United States, and this is our first time up here. We just opened up CUC Camp Toronto just 2 weeks ago, and we had a phenomenal turnout for our first year. And God only knows where we're going to go from here and how much we're going to grow. Already the campers from the Toronto camp told us that next year the camp's going to blow up. And next year we hope to hopefully have camps maybe in Vancouver, Ottawa, as well as other places around Canada. But I will assure you that we're here to stay. We love your country. We find it so welcoming. It's so amazing up here. We've had campers come down to our camps down in North Carolina and Chicago and Portland for years now, and we just thought it was about time to come up here. So we're very excited to be here. We're very excited to sponsor CUC. The reason that we are here is because our #1 mission statement is to help grow Juniors Ultimate, and by being here this week, we feel like we're accomplishing that, and we're here to help you and your team in any way that we can. So myself, as well as my 2 coaches that I've brought here, we are here to help you. So please, come on over to our tent, talk to us. We'll help you with anything. We'll even run a clinic for you and your team. Whatever you need, we're here for you, and hopefully we see you at CUC Camp. Go there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, Java and CUC Camp. So now, to welcome you all to the event, we are excited to introduce 2 city councilors. We have Jeff Bowman and Pat Fortini. Jeff Bowman, the chairman for sports tourism, would also like to give you guys a short speech. Please give them a round of applause.
Thank you very much. This is incredible, looking out at the crowds here this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to some great action over the next week with the juniors and the seniors coming in. Thank you all for coming to Brampton. Brampton is probably known as one of the cities that produces the most professional athletes in the most professional sports per capita than anywhere in Canada, whether it be hockey, lacrosse, baseball. You know, we've had the first couple of draft picks in the NBA. So I'm looking for this sport to catch on huge. I went online this afternoon and I looked at the top 10 ultimate catches that was on TSN. Incredible. I just could not believe it. The athleticism that's involved in this game is second to none, and this is going to be a great week. I hope all the athletes have a wonderful time. I hope the families have a great time here in our city. We thank you for coming to Brampton, and we're looking forward to doing everything we can to keep you happy here. And I would just let Councillor Pat Fortini say a couple of words. He just lives across the street, so he's going to be here a lot. And then I'm going to try and take a selfie with all of you in the background. So thank you for coming to Brampton.
Thank you, everybody. I am Pat Fortini, and this great facility falls under my ward. And I'm so proud of this park and everyone that came out here from all over Canada. I'm sure you're going to have a great stay here. We're a very great city, and I'll be here all week. I just live around the corner, so you'll see a lot of me. Thank you.
Another big thank you for Jeff and Pat. We would now like to take a quick moment to thank Ultimate Canada's official partners. Thank you to VC, Discraft, and Layout for your incredible support of Ultimate in Canada and for your continued involvement in the Canadian Ultimate Championships. Now, please put your hands together for the Executive Director of Ultimate Canada to share a few words with all of you. Welcome, Danny Saunders.
Thank you, Breton, and thanks for stealing my thunder. I was going to thank the official partners too, so I'll give a second thanks, as well as to the City of Brampton, and Linda Ulmer in particular has helped us in so many ways to put this event together. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Brampton, for the warm welcome and hosting us this week. So this year, I'm really happy to see the junior division continue to grow. For the first time ever, we're going to be showcasing a junior women's game in our opening ceremonies. And in this year too, I'm happy to see that the junior women's division grew to 20 teams based on interest. So to have these teams come and compete in the Canadian Ultimate Championships, we need a lot of volunteers. So all week you're going to see people in blue and white who have been giving up their free time, their week, to make sure that this event can take place. So if you get a chance, please thank your volunteers. Please thank the scorekeepers. Please thank the people dropping off water, the medical staff, because they're all giving their time so that you can enjoy yourselves this week. In addition to those volunteers are ones that you know very well. And those are your coaches, your team managers, your chaperones, and team volunteers who have given countless hours so that you can play this weekend. So let's hear it for those volunteers, your coaches. Well, I hope everyone has a great week full of highly spirited play that's extremely competitive. And I hope to see everyone next year in Edmonton.
Thank you so much, Danny. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we would like to welcome Sarah Jacobson, Iwan Kohonen, Jamie Millage, and Danielle Viano to the field to give the athlete and coaches oaths.
Coaches and other members of the athletes' entourage, I promise that we shall commit ourselves to ensuring that the spirit of the game and fair play is fully adhered to and upheld in accordance with the fundamental principles of Ultimate. That we will coach our athletes to play at their highest physical level without losing respect for our opponents or the game.
Au nom de tous les entraîneurs et autres membres de l'entourage de nos athlètes, je promets que nous nous engageons à faire en sorte que l'esprit du jeu et le jeu équitable soient pleinement respectés conformément aux principes fondamentaux de l'Ultimate. Je promets que nous encouragerons nos athlètes à jouer leur plus haut niveau physique sans perdre de vue le respect pour nos adversaires et pour le jeu.
In the name of all competitors, I promise that we shall take part in these Canadian Ultimate Championships, respecting and abiding by the rules that govern them, committing ourselves in the true spirit of the game, to the glory of our sport and the honor of our teams.
Au nom de tous les athlètes, je promets que nous participerons à ce championnat canadien d'Ultimate en respectant les règles qui régissent notre sport. Je promets que nous ferons preuve d'esprit du jeu pour la gloire de notre sport et pour l'honneur de nos équipes.
Sorry, just a quick note for everybody. If you are wondering where the bathrooms are, they'll just be on the change rooms, just on that building, okay? Anybody looking for a bathroom? Just over there, okay? At this moment, we would like to give a final big thank you to our additional event and award partners, Cliff Bar, Dreamwater, Greatest Bag, Longo's Mount Pleasant, and Downtown Brampton BIA. So now the showcase is only a few minutes away, But before that, it's time to meet the players competing in tonight's game. Just a quick reminder for everybody that there's a small competition going around that if you post a photo of yourself, your team, and or the opening ceremonies with the hashtag CUC Brampton, you will be entered to win an awesome prize from CUC Camp. So you must enter before the first halftime of the showcase game. Okay, so if you take a photo of yourself, your team, anything about the opening ceremonies, with the hashtag CUC Brampton, and submit it on Instagram before halftime, you will have a chance to win an exciting prize from CUC Camp. Unfortunately, we do not offer free Wi-Fi. Now, just as both teams are finishing up their warm-ups, I just want to kind of get a feel for who everybody is cheering for. So if you're cheering for Misfit, when I say 3, 2, 1, I just want to hear you guys cheer a little bit, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Not bad, not bad. Good start, okay? If you're cheering for TORO, on 3, 2, 1. Also not too bad. Let's get one more for Mischief. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Last one, TORO. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Now we're getting into it. Fantastic. So just as the players are finishing their warm-ups, we're going to begin introductions in just a moment. For now, just sit tight, say hello to your neighbor. You guys are squeezed in pretty tight. There's a lot of people here. Make sure you say hello to them.
I'm going to do a sound check quickly. Do you have headphones? Yeah. Yeah. That way you can tell me if it worked. You can hear my voice. I just thought that. Media post before I do all that.
Hello, hello, hello.
Number 4, Katie Lay.
Hello and welcome to
Number 5, Amy Woe. Number 6, Annie Wu. Number 7.
Hello? Hello.
Number 8, Mona O.
Hello and welcome to the 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships.
Number 11, Rachel Lavin.
Hello. Hello.
Number 12, Anna Wei. Number 13, Julia Hamoraban. Number 14, Kirsten Ho. Number 15, Joy Zhao. Number 16, Emma Young. Number 18, Cindy Santiago. Number 19, Hannah Samuel. Number 20, Monet Shimura. Number 25, Kathy Lee. Number 33, Chloe Merritt. Number 37, Abby Madden-Krasnick. Number 50,
7, Michelle Yang. And number 88, Rachel Sun.
Check, check.
And their coaches, Eugene Wong, Michael Lee,
Check, 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 check,
and
check.
Veronica Ng.
Check, check, check.
Now introducing the home team from Toronto, TORO.
Check, 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 check.
We have number 0, Camila Siverici. Number 2, Tracy Dow. Number 4, Tiama Lyle. Number 5, Tiffany Zhang. Number 7, Catherine Kwok. Number 8, Jenny Zhang. Number 10, Doris Zhang.
Check.
Number 13, Montana Denis. Number 16, Jaden Lund. Number 17, Jay Huang Fu. Number 18, Moro Santocono. Number 20, Haley Smith. Number 21, Isabel Pakla. Number 22, Kelly Smith. Number 26, Cynthia Dang. Number 27, Jasmine Ulala. Number 28, Rachel Cook. Number 30, Monica Wang. Number 66, Celine Nguyen. Number 80, Brianna Prentice. And number 88, Lisa Lee Chan. And their coaches, Karen Chan Lim, Vicky Boda, and Carla DiFilippo. Let's get one more please, everybody. Let's get. their business just before the game starts. The flip has already taken place. TORO won the flip and chose to start on defense. Mischief will be receiving the disc to start the game. We have TORO wearing the dark jerseys and Mischief wearing the white jerseys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have already found a lost set of keys. It contains a key fob, a important cup, a Good Life Fitness membership card, and 4 keys. If you are looking for this, or you know who is looking for this, I will have them, I believe, up in the commentary booth. Okay, so if they're looking for them, sometime after the game, I will return them to you. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to be live in a second here. Hello and welcome to the 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships. We are here in Brampton, Ontario for the showcase game in the junior women's division. We've got TORO, the home team from Toronto, Mischief, the team out of BC. It's going to be an exciting matchup here. We get to kick off the Canadian Ultimate Championships here, the first leg in Brampton. We've got the junior division from August 12th through 15th. The adults will be playing through the 16th to 19th, and then the mixed divisions will be playing in Surrey from the 23rd to 26th. So we've got 2 weeks of awesome ultimate for you. It's Rebecca Thompson here in the booth. I'll be joined by Brendan Tan in just a minute, and we will be getting underway. You can see TORO will be wearing the dark jerseys on the left side of your screen, just getting ready in their huddle with Mischief in the white. So joined by me now, we've got Brendan Tan come up from his MC duties into the booth. And Brendan, we've got an exciting matchup here in the junior women's division. What do you think we're going to see today?
Absolutely. I mean, first game of the tournament, nothing can be expected just yet. We're going to see both these teams going all out. Maybe this is the first time they're playing in front of such a big crowd of all their friends, family. So I think both teams are just going to put it all out there on the field, and we're just going to have an exciting game in front of us.
Yeah, definitely. I spoke to both of these teams before the game, and they both said similar things, that neither of them have quite played in a situation like this. Of course, the TORO women last year were in the junior women's final, so a few members of that team suffered a loss in front of a big crowd, and so I think they're ready to get some of that back, whereas Mischief, this team really hasn't played in a situation like this, so it's going to be a great opportunity for both teams to really show what they've got. So both teams are just getting onto the line now. TORO is going to be starting us off on defense, wearing the dark jerseys. Mischief starting on offense. We've got a pretty big crowd here as well, and I think we're going to get them a little bit fired up as we get into this. It's going to be an exciting game for sure.
Absolutely. I'm sure all the junior athletes that are here, there's almost 1,000 of them. I'm sure they're all excited to get started playing tomorrow. So hopefully anytime they see a big play on this field, I'm sure they're just going to let everybody know that they're feeling it too.
Yeah, and you've played in situations like this before where the crowd can really pump you up too.
Yeah. I must say when you're playing with the crowd on your side, it can be such a big difference. You can make a bad play and you can feel down, and then all of a sudden you make that one good play and you just feel invigorated like a whole new person.
So the first pull is up. We've got the showcase game underway. Madden Krasnick picks up. TORO down in a zone look already to start this game, and a miscued throw right off the bat for Mischief. It's going to give TORO a goal line opportunity here. Just center to the middle. Finds a reset back.
Yeah, first game of the tournament can always be the most difficult. You're not really sure what to expect. You're all nervous. You're shaky a little bit. And right there, we just saw a very probably unconventional turnover there from Mischief. But it's going to happen. They look like they're playing hard defense. So hopefully they can get it back here and take it the other way again.
And right there again, Brett, that's exactly what you were just talking about. TORO with an opportunity to get the first break of the game, but Prentice shoots that one into the ground, and maybe a little bit of nerves there as well.
Exactly. Open shot, great look from her, and unfortunately just came out of her hand a little bit wrong.
The hammer gets picked off immediately to the end zone, into the hands of CUC, and Rachel CUC with the first point of the game. That's a break for TORO.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic read there from Risa Lee Chan, seeing that hammer coming, getting in perfect position, and then just finding a receiver 1 second later for the quick break.
So TORO right away getting that first break. They've come down in a zone look. There's not a lot of wind out there. You can see the flags moving a little bit on the far side of the field, but Mischief with the downwind opportunity, and maybe just need to take a deep breath and get their head set again here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's the first game, first point of the biggest tournament right now for them, the Junior Nationals. So we understand if players are coming out just a little bit nervous, but hopefully as they play a few more points, they'll get used to it and they'll be good to go, show us a crazy spectacle.
So 1-0 here. TORO, the home team from Toronto, leading Mischief nice and early on. We get a first chance here to see what TORO can really do coming out. Their second chance on defense already. They're going to try maybe I'd put that zone back on. It was so effective on that first point as well, but I'm sure Mischief, they've got a few different people out on the field, so trying to do something different right off the bat.
Yep, I don't think TORO wants to show that zone too early, not to Mischief, not to everybody else at the tournament watching them. Maybe they want to save it a little bit for later on in the bracket, but right now let's see what they come down with. They're going to go with maybe a different zone, maybe the same one. We see a little bit of a 3-3-1 zone. Mischief right now doing a great job using those short passes, just gaining a few yards here and there.
Mischief just working it up the field calmly. Shamira finds an option upfield. Pump fake by Shirawa. A shot up the line into coverage, and that one's going to be reeled down, but just outside of the end zone.
Yeah, Mischief showing great patience there, and that shot just a little bit tight, came out a little bit offhand and just flew out of bounds, but great play by the receiver to save it. Unfortunately, she couldn't keep it quite in.
Another chance here for TORO as a shaky throw goes to the middle of the field, but TORO still in control. Centered back to CUC. It looks like a foul called, as it looked like a tight mark there, forced the bad throw.
Yep, sometimes it can be very tough to hand block a thrower without fouling them. So unfortunately there, she cut a little piece of her arm, and the disc will go back. There's no complaints, just a quick discussion and plays back on.
Rachel CUC with the big layout grab to save possession, and maybe just losing her balance. She gets up quickly and turfs that one into the ground, and Mischief desperately in a good position now to get a hold. A little give and go into the end zone, and the big spike into the air, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, unfortunately from there, a little bit of confusion on TORO's end. They couldn't quite pick up their girls, but Mischief doing a great job there to capitalize. A little 1-2 dish right into the goal, and they're pumped, and that's what you want to see.
And that's Joy Zhao with the first goal here for Mischief, and we're tied up at ones. And I know it's early on in this game, Brett, but it's really kind of the play you want to see from a showcase game. You want to see it close. You want to see them go back and forth.
Absolutely, and right now, like you said, 1-1, and it's It already looks like it's going to be a close, tightly contested game. We'll see. We'll just see how the game unfolds in front of us. TORO now, I believe, going upwind, just a slight upwind, not crazy conditions, but again, they have to work upwind. They're going to have to be a little bit more patient, and we're going to see if this first time the O-line hits the field, they can really bring that to this game.
So it's our first chance now to see what the O-line from TORO can bring to this game. We haven't seen them out there yet, although you do see with some of these teams that they start to play a lot of the same players over again as you get into those tight situations and start to tighten the lines into their top 14. We're a little bit too early for that maybe, but definitely excited to see their first time with their O-line out there.
Absolutely. Likewise for Mischief, we're going to see what kind of defensive looks they can bring out. They saw TORO throw some zones at them. Will they reciprocate with a zone of their own, or will they just play that person-to-person defense and really try and lock them down?
Santacono now on the near side. Mischief in that zone look as Santacono shoots the scoober to the middle.
Well, already TORO throwing in that 3-3-1 look. Mischief countering with a 4-2-1, so a little bit different. We're going to see how it plays. It's very tight coverage around the handlers, really forcing them to go side to side, and TORO right now is doing a fantastic job.
Santacono tries to get out of that trap on the far sideline, and the block comes out from Mischief. Their first chance to break. Madden Krasnick shoots that into traffic, and somehow it's brought into the hands of a Mischief player. Yep. Looking for the reset now.
Yeah, Mischief now with the chance on the doorstep. That red zone can be very important. They can tie this game back up, bring it back on serve.
Wu looking for an option. Finds it under. Mona O. And that one's picked off right near the end zone line.
Great block there from TORO, not giving up, even though they're on their own doorstep. They can get it back, and they're going to shoot a great shot downfield to Jaden Lund.
That's a great transition play there from TORO as they work their way about 20 yards out of the end zone, finding the reset and Doris Zhang. Back over to Lund. Lund shoots to the end zone. That one's reeled in, and TORO managed to get a hold to make this game 2-1.
Yeah, that was a great point by Lund there. As soon as she saw her teammate get that block, she immediately went on the offense, sprinting downfield, completely open. Her teammate hit her with a fantastic shot, and then there at the end zone, using some good quick movements to get open on that open side, and then find her teammate in the corner for the nice hold. So already, Becky, both teams bringing out a little bit of their zone looks. Do you think that will continue throughout this game, or will we see maybe a transition to man? Or maybe that's just their trump card, sorry, person defense? Or maybe that'll be their trump card. Maybe both teams go back and forth, zone a few points, then all of a sudden one team brings out person defense and tries to kind of shell shock the other team a bit.
Yeah, I think at this point they're definitely going to want to try a few different things for this game. They've got a long tournament ahead of them as well. Of course, this game does count as a pool play game, so still a lot on the line, but if I was both of these teams, I would want to try out a few different sets on my defense and see what really works.
Absolutely. This may not be the last time these two teams meet, so maybe you want to throw in a few variations just to see how the other team reacts and kind of keep those thoughts in your back pocket for later on down the tournament. Big pull there from TORO. Unfortunately, we have the observer signaling an offside.
Offside on TORO.
The disc will be returned to TORO. They will get another chance to pull.
Warning. The second one will be field penalties.
So an offside called there. Both teams have to stay behind the line. The offense can keep their foot on the line. The defense has to start behind the line before they release that pull. See a big outside in pull going in on the far side of the field as Mischief now. Little bobble there, but keeps it in possession. Lee on the near side. Finds an upline option.
Yeah, TORO already switching it up a little bit. They did a quick zone this time, 2-3 passes, and then went right to person. And it looks like it caught Mischief off guard a little bit as they get the block there on the under.
Yeah, Rachel Cook there picking that one off as that goes a little bit too high, and the Toro player there did really well to get up, but just a little bit too far out of her reach.
Yeah, Tiffany Zhang really showing her hops there, getting up to that disc, but unfortunately off her hands. And then likewise there, Kathy Lee as well, getting up there to grab the disc, but not quite keeping it in her hands as she was approaching the sidelines.
Yeah, and I think still just a little bit of nerves taking place, and it is still early in this game. They've got to find a way to settle in and find their rhythm, as well as CUC now. Same thing, looks to the middle, and Hannah Samuel picks that one off, holsters the huck, tries to shoot it a little bit short, and I think a touch from the Toro defender there, just shooting that away from where she wanted to put it.
Yeah, at the same time, it looked like her receiver thought she was pumping her off and coming under, so she was also a little bit out of position. Toro now quick to move it back the other way. They're just outside the red zone.
Mischief playing shutdown person defense here, trying to take away the options with CUC now in the middle for Toro. She goes for the high release backhand, and that one's dropped on the end zone line.
Yeah, this has been a long point, Becky. You can tell the players are starting to get a little bit tired. It's been very fast-paced, neither team really wanting to take their time and set up their offense, instead hitting 1-2 passes and then seeing how things develop downfield.
Another high release shot goes up. And Mischief trying to swing it over to the far side. They're going to give Toro a chance 2 yards out of the end zone to break here. Again, take this game to 3-1.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for Toro early on. They're going to want to use as much patience as they can and really secure this one.
Rachel CUC, no hesitation, shoots that one up line, and that's another break here for Toro, and we are at 3-1 early in this game.
Yeah, Tiama Lyle showing some awesome speed there, just bursting up line past her defender, catching that goal with one hand to secure Toro that break, especially after such a long point. It really feels good to get those ones.
Score 3-1 Toro.
Score now 3-1, Toro leading, up 2 breaks. But again, it was early. We saw Mischief had a chance of their own to get that break back. I'm sure they'll get plenty more in this game. So the game is by no means out of hands already.
So Mischief, another chance on offense. They're going to look to hold here. Maybe try to make it a little bit of a faster point than that last one was. Might be a good chance to execute a pull play if Toro comes down in a person set as well.
Yep, so far Toro's been happy sticking with their zone look. That one, a little bit of a zone to person transition, which can be very effective at confusing opposing teams. We'll see if they want to bring out the same thing or just go person this time. It looks more like a person set at the moment as Mischief is bringing the disc in as the pull went out of bounds.
Chance here for Mischief to take advantage of a short pull. Having that pull head downfield is really a valuable thing for any team. Toro kind of in a bit of a flying V formation, trying to maybe stop any of that upfield pull play movement right away.
Yep, Toro really looking to make the Mischief handlers work it back and forth amongst themselves, leaving them wide open, but not letting them hit any of their cutters.
And that Poji defense leads to a turnover here. Toro in control again. Another chance to break and going up 4-1 at the start of the game. That's what every team wants to do, get that 3-point lead, get a little comfortable in the game.
Mischief doing a great job, though, playing that person defense, really fighting to keep in line with their checks, not letting them get anything easy, making them work for everything.
Prentice finds an around option. Lyle and Prentice are going 1 and 2 in the backfield now as they look for something upfield.
Yeah, Mischief doing a really great job locking down those cutters, forcing Toro to go back and forth amongst their handlers.
Toro looking for the resets. Finds Lyle, but that one's bobbled off of her hand.
And
Mischief.
now quick on the race.
And that one too far out of the reach of the Mischief player there, and still a little bit of nerves going on in this game.
Not only that, the wind can also be a little bit deceiving down there on the field, especially with the stance on our side. The wind that hits the field hits it at different angles at different places, and it can be very confusing for the throwers and very tough to adjust to very quickly.
And a run through D from Mischief. Running all the way through that one is Monet Shimura. That just goes all the way down the far side of the field out of bounds, and Mischief is going to get a chance to walk that in and set up an end zone play with a chance to hold and keep this one nice and tight.
Yep, that was a huge run-through block. You heard the crowd get excited as well. I'm sure Mischief is starting to feel excited as well. If they can get it back, they're not done if they turn it over. And here, great shot there by Mischief. Great cut. And they're just going to punch it in that front 2 yards of the end zone.
Mischief with the hold. They really did need that offensive hold. I think Brett keeping that difference between going down by 3 points and staying within one. Even though it may not have been the prettiest of points, that's still a positive thing and a confidence thing for your team.
Absolutely. Anytime you can win a point that's not perfect, that feels good. You feel like you're in that game. You're right there with the other team, and you can take them out at any moment.
That brings the score to 3-2 Toro.
So we're having a few scoreboard issues here on our live stream as well. So for those of you at home who are not seeing a live scoreboard on our stream, we're working on getting that fixed for you, but it's 3-2 here for Toro, leading over Mischief. Toro, the home team out of Toronto, local team here playing in the showcase game versus Mischief, one of the elite teams out of BC. There's a huge program from both of these sides. You've got the Elites Ultimate program in Toronto, and Brett, I know you were a part of that for a few years, and I came out of that BC program, so we got a little friendly rivalry maybe going on, West Coast versus East Coast here too.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's all in good fun, right? We both have friends from both sides of the country, and you meet some great people playing Ultimate against them.
Absolutely. So Mischief, a chance here to get their break back. They're still looking for their first break of the game. Put this game back on serve.
And Mischief right away back with their 4-2-1, and they're forcing a quick turnover on that short shot.
Around now to Madden Krasnick. She shoots the inside shot. Looking for Mona Au.
That's Mona O up now to Amy Guo.
And a hand block.
That great defensive pressure there from Haley Smith there to stop that high release backhand throw, which can be so dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, Amy Guo telegraphed that one a little bit, maybe just forgetting to fake some of that tiredness coming to play. And right away, we've got a big layout grab in the middle of the field as Toro retains possession, swinging over to the far side, looking to keep their lead at 2. And that one also low. Moro Santacono can't hang on to that one.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of tough shots there. Receivers are making great grabs at times, but sometimes you can't expect them to make every single great grab out there.
Madden Krasnick giving the disc right back to Toro with that inside shot and running out of a few options. Her resets going up line were no longer open, so sometimes that's the only option you have.
Yeah, one great thing we've seen is both teams not really giving up at any point. They're going to lock the other team down as much as they can.
And that one, the Toro player trying to chase that one down into the back of the end zone. And Brett, she had so much time to chase that one down too. Maybe just not quite noticing where the back of the end zone line was as she steps out of bounds. And Mischief have a chance to go back up the other way.
Absolutely. It looked like she was very, very close there. She might have been looking up, focusing on the disc, not being able to see that back end zone line. But luckily we have the observers there making that call for us. And she was unfortunately just out of bounds.
Santiago now shoots up line, and that one as well. Just another miscue there, and both of these teams need to take a chance to reset. Maybe a good time to call a timeout after this point.
Absolutely. We'll see which one can punch it in here. We have a long upline shot. Unfortunately, just a little bit too low there for Doris Sang.
Madden Krasnick now Both teams looking a little bit more static. And another bobble in the middle of the field from Guo there. Amy Guo with the bobble. And that's not what either of these teams are going to want to be putting together right now. Definitely a chance to reset as Santacono shoots a great inside shot.
You can tell fatigue is really starting to hit these players. They've been running back and forth, multiple long points.
Disc to the end zone, and that one's going to be reeled in. And you can tell Toro is excited to have that one and that point finish as Jaden Lunn gets the score for Toro. And another point, a good offensive hold for them to keep their lead up by 2.
Absolutely. But again, another great defensive point for Mischief. Anytime you can make the other team's offense work that hard and force that many turnovers before they can score, you're doing something right. So as long as they can keep that up throughout the game, they'll keep getting their chances, and I'm sure they'll put a few in.
So at this point, Brett, if you're Mischief, what do you do differently? What do you tell your team to get them to settle down just a little bit?
Ooh, that can be very tough. I find a lot of every player reacts differently in these big situations when there's a lot of people there on your sideline. My biggest advice to them is just try and zone out, right? Just focus on what's happening on the field. Be there for your teammates. Good plays, bad plays. Always have their back and hope that they always have yours, and that's all you can hope for. It looks like there might have been a little bit of confusion on the field about whether a timeout called was called or not. Oh, okay. We just got confirmation. Toro calling a timeout.
Is 4-2. Let's hear it from
I think it's a great move, Becky. Their offense hasn't been playing the cleanest frisbee, so maybe take a second, get all their players to calm down, because I think the team that can calm their nerves first will have a huge advantage going forward in this game.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Just a really good chance to settle down. A lot of nerves, I think, definitely happening out here. There's about 1,000 people in this crowd, so definitely a really good chance for them to take that deep breath and reset. There's still quite a lot of time left in this game as well, so definitely just want to, bring your team in and say, hey, we've got this, play the same game we always play.
Yeah, not only that, it's only the first game of the tournament, and maybe it can make your tournament much more difficult if you do drop this first game. But again, it's just the very first one. You'll still have many more to play throughout the weeks. So if you don't succeed, if everything isn't going right on this first game, that's okay as well, right? You have time to grow as players in the coming days with your other pool play opponents, and then into the power pools in the bracket. So don't try and peak too early, because you want to still have something left in the tank if you make it deep into that bracket, into that final game 3 days from now.
So Toro now with the pull. That one sailing out of bounds. It's going to give Mischief another good opportunity here.
Second offside against Toro.
But it looks like another offside was called. And it's the second offside for Toro. So they're going to get a chance to set up.
Yep, so 2 offsides now. That means Mischief will be starting the disc at half, middle of the field. A great position to start play from. And every offside after this now will always start the disc at that midfield line. So Toro has to be very careful.
Disc over to the far side. And that one is just bobbled out of the hands, and it looks like a call. It's hard to imagine when a player just drops it stationary that there may have not been some sort of contact on the mark.
There are definitely cases where it could be seen, there's rain pouring, you're not wearing gloves, and there are certain cases where it does just slip out of your hands. But in these pretty perfect conditions, it's hard to imagine that it didn't hit the marker in some way, shape, or form. And even if the marker didn't mean to do it, unfortunately, it is still a strip call. They cannot make contact with them at any point.
Observer ruling, no foul, turnover.
But as you can hear, the observers being right there, making the call, saying it was a turnover. Sometimes that does happen. You just drop the disc, and it is what it is. You just got to play good defense, try and get it back.
And Rachel Cook there maybe putting a little bit of intimidation on the mark as she's going to get the disc back now. Immediately shoots the huck upfield. That one sails into the hands of her receiver. A quick shot up line to the end zone. That's another break for Toro as Catherine Kwok gets the score, makes this game 5-2.
Yeah, fantastic transition offense from Tiffany Zhang there, just rushing down for as fast as she could, reading that disc that was flying over her head perfectly, and just delivering a nice calm shot into the end zone for her teammate.
And Kwok always running up the field with her, ready for that next pass as well. Mischief just not quite transitioning after that foul call to their defense very quickly, and that's something they're probably going to want to adjust during the course of this game. But 5-2 here now, Toro with the 3-point lead, and at 3 points you get to kind of start to take a deep breath here, I think, Brett.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that false comfort zone because you are comfortably ahead, but if Mischief can hold here, then it's suddenly only 2 points, and if they can get one break going forward, suddenly it's just 1 point, and they're right back in that game, and you don't feel like you're in the lead anymore. You don't feel like you have so much control.
So Mischief still looking for their first break of the game. Definitely a good game changer, like you just said, Brett, trying to get that momentum going for their team. See if they can come out of the gate with a hold here. Toro set to pull. This one's going to hang inbounds for them.
And we see them being very careful on the line, making sure not to step over once again and draw another offside. We have a tight shot there. Mischief trying to work it with their handlers through the middle of that cup. And we had number 4, I believe that's Tiama Lyle, trying to step in and get the block, but just crashes into the Mischief receiver. But quick discussion, and she gives her the disc. It's great spirit. You love to see that in the opening game and in any game here at the Ultimate Championship.
Disc shot upfield. 2 receivers there to bring that in for Mischief. Centers back to the middle now. Pressure defense from Toro, but that one's held onto. And the inside shot, the defender not maybe paying attention to that one, looking at her check, and that just sails over the shoulder, gives Mischief the hold.
Yeah, that was a great shot there from Anna Wei. First she started with a nice aggressive cut under, making a huge grab with her defender right on her back. And then she just looks upfield and sees a small pocket of space and fires the disc in perfectly for the goal.
I think, Brett, that might be one of the shortest points that we've seen so far in this game as well.
Yeah, I believe that was perhaps the first turnover-free point we saw so far. So looks like both teams starting to settle a little bit. Toro mixing it up still with their zone to man transitions, but Mischief doing a great job there, knowing that it's coming and adjusting perfectly for the goal.
So Mischief still looking for their first break of the game. If they can get a break back here, definitely a confidence booster and a momentum, even just to have the know in your team that you can get that break. And this is a big game for both these teams, and a big team. Toro in the finals last year, they are the runners-up. They're seated second going into this week as well. So definitely a big showcase here, and Mischief with a little bit to prove, I think, and they're starting to put it more on the line.
Absolutely. Both teams motivated by different things, like you said, Becky. Toro being the top dog, really wanting to show everybody why they are that top dog, and Mischief wanting to show that they can handle that. They can take down anybody at this tournament, and they're not scared of anyone.
So Mischief back in that zone set as Toro looks for that option. The 4-2-1, again, this is a classic zone that we see a lot from the BC defenses. They really like to try and trap the thrower.
Yeah, Toro right now doing a great job. Starting to get a little bit trapped here on this near sideline, but looking around, being patient, taking some aggressive shots, which you're going to need to do if you don't want to get stuck and trapped.
Santacono shoots the high release backhand over the wall, gives a chance to go long to a wide open Lund. That's a great shot up the line as now Santacono looking for that 1-2 option. Shoots that one around, and the layout attempt, but that one is too far, and maybe Santacono, no mark on her yet, just getting a little bit excited on that end zone line.
Yeah, it can be very, very exciting when you're just 2 yards out of the end zone. You really want to punch it in, get that hold right back for your team. Unfortunately, that shot just a little bit too far for a receiver. And Mischief now with a chance. They're going to have to go 70 yards, but if they can do it, this is a huge momentum shift. And unfortunately there, the Mischief receiver getting up, getting her hands on it, but she couldn't quite hold it as there were quite a few people under that disc.
And that one, the big around backhand into the end zone. Haley Smith making this another 3-point lead here for Toro. They lead 6-3.
Yeah, again, Mischief forcing Toro to turn it over a few times, but they haven't really quite found their offense just yet off the turnover to punch in one on Toro.
Make some noise if you want more hammers!
So Toro extending their lead back to 3. Mischief still look like they're finding a little bit more of their rhythm, still getting comfortable. This is the first game of the tournament for both of these teams and a showcase situation as well. So we've talked about the pressure of the crowd, but also they're both still preparing to go into the rest of this week and their games that they have in this format at the Canadian Junior Ultimate Championships. We've got the top 8 teams in 2 pools, so essentially starting off with a power pool format. So that can lead to a lot of big games and some pressure situations right off the bat as well.
Yeah, it can be great. It can be both good and bad. I can see early on in the tournament, it's tough to get your legs on you when you have to play a high pressure game already against that number 4 seed, that number 3 seed. But at the same time, it's good to get that experience in early, playing tough games, so that you're mentally checked in when it comes to actual elimination games where you have to put it all on the line for your team.
So Mischief again looking to hold here as that pull sails all the way back towards the end zone, and Madden Krasnick will pick up here for Mischief. Toro down in person defense and a poach D in the middle. And immediately for the score, Rachel Cook gets the break for Toro, and it is 7-3 here.
Yeah, if you were to ask me, Becky, it looks like Toro has kind of calmed themselves first. You almost expected them being used to the finals from last year and playing in a bunch of big games. Really showing their stuff there, being quick, getting down, getting that poach block, and just flipping it in for a quick break.
And that's exactly the kind of transition to offense that you want to see any team do. Immediately cutting with purpose to the end zone. And Rachel Cook has been a standout player so far for Toro as well, getting run through D's left, right, and center, and coming down with a couple points too now. So great to see Toro bringing the fire here in this first game.
Absolutely. That can really be the difference maker in these early games when everybody's still a little bit shaky. If you're big players, the ones who do a lot of the heavy lifting, can really come out and show their stuff early on. That can just swing the game in one direction. And as you can see, Toro up right now 7-3. So really starting to take a bit of a commanding lead. But we never know. Mischief can come back. It's only the first half of the game. It's a long, long game here.
Yeah, and we've all seen bigger comebacks than 4 points down before as well. Coached a team once who was down 7-0. They came back to win 9-8. That was actually a Mischief team back in 2014 as well. So you never know what these Mischief girls can accomplish here, Brett.
Absolutely. Maybe they have a little bit of that comeback Mischief blood in them too. And hopefully we can see it here against one of the tournament favorites in Toro.
So Dis now on the far side of the field. Shoots up the line, and that one's reeled in. The flick huck goes up, sailing towards the edge of the end zone, and it's just going to trail out of bounds, a little too far for the receiver to make a play on it.
Yeah, unfortunate. It looked really good when it came out of her hands, but unfortunately the wind took over a little bit, took that one out of bounds.
Toro now shoots the floaty flick, and the big D elevating to get that one. Madden Krasnick looked for the quick break, finds it, but that one is just out of the reach of the receiver, and Mischief now really bringing the heat, trying to keep this game within their reach.
Yeah, Mischief knowing that the time isn't quite on their side, so they're being very quick. They're still playing aggressive, tight on their marks, and when they get that chance on offense, showing off their speed, sprinting to the end zone, and really trying to find those quick shots. Toro now with another chance to try and take half, but that one's going to go right into a poach. Great job there from Julia Morabon there, poaching. And now the shot's going to go up, and Mischief is going to bring it down for a nice hold there. They're still down a little bit, 4-7, but every point matters at this point. They're going to get one step closer, and as long as they don't let Toro score, they will have a chance to win this game.
And Kathy Lee there coming down with that one. A little bit of defensive pressure, but makes it look like no problem, and Mischief keeping this one in reach. They're going to want to try and find that one break before halftime, though, here, I think, Brett.
Yeah, they're really going to try. I think they might go for a little bit of a stacked line here with one more chance here to try and break Toro before half, as if Toro scores, they'll be taking half. So I think they're going to try and stack their lines, probably bring out their zone once again. They're 4-1. They've been getting the turnovers. Now they just need their offense to calm down on that turn and really try and punch it in slowly.
Mischief bringing out their D-line here, looking for that opportunity. Got Toro on the other hand, trying to close this out, keep their lead at 4 to go into a comfortable halftime break for them.
Yeah, this is a huge point for Toro because if they can score here, not only will they take half, but they will also be receiving coming out of half. So it's a chance for them to get a potential 2-point swing and end up perhaps 9-4 coming out after the first point after half.
Mischief lining up for their pull. That pull's going to sail just out near the end zone, so it'll be brought into the brick mark for Toro.
Yeah, and right away you see Mischief down with their 4-person cup. They're really going to try and make Toro work for this last point. They're not going to make it easy.
The zone set again for Mischief. It's been effective so far to trap Toro on that sideline as a big around flick goes up, but there's no defensive coverage there.
Yeah, Toro doing a great job recognizing that there are so many players around the disc that if they can hit those over-the-top shots, they're going to have nothing but green space in front of them.
And another wide open receiver in the middle. Toro to the end zone, finds Lunn. Lunn, another standout player here for this Toronto team, and that's going to take us to half. 8-4, Toro leads. And Brett, tell me a little bit about what we just saw in that first half.
So early on, we saw a lot of nerves, a lot of turnovers back and forth, both teams battling to try and see if they can take the lead in this game. We saw Toro go up a couple early. Mischief still fighting back, getting their turnovers, not quite getting their breaks yet, but really making the Toro O-line work. And then we saw the timeout. We saw Toro calm down and really start to take point after point after point. And that's what's given them this kind of comfortable 8-4 lead going into half.
So we are now joined in the booth by Java, the owner of CUC Camps. This junior division this week is brought to you by CUC Camp as well. They are our presenting sponsor. And Java, it's great to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, Becky, first off, it's great to be here. You have a wonderful facility here, and you got a wonderful tournament. It's just been nothing but a pleasure and an honor to be here at CUC. And it's our first time up here in Canada, and we absolutely love it. And as you know, we opened up at CUC Camp Toronto, which just finished up a week ago. We had a phenomenal turnout for our first year, and God only knows the campers and everyone's been saying that next year it's going to just boom and just get much bigger, and we're really excited about that. But yeah, we're here because we want to support Youth Ultimate. We want to support Juniors Ultimate, and we're so excited to see 44 teams here at the CUC, and the girls division growing to 20 teams, and I think it's all wonderful stuff, and we hope to help in any way we can. And yeah, we hope to have a couple more camps up here in Canada over the next year or two. Vancouver, Ottawa, I know that people have been pushing for us to go there, and God knows I was in Vancouver a little bit over a month ago, and so I wouldn't mind putting a camp there with all those mountains and beautiful scenery there.
That would be fantastic to see. And your hashtag go there as well. And Java, how'd you come up with that? Why should people go there?
You know, it's a funny story. Like it was our second year running the camps. Our first year going overnight camp, and because first year was a day camp, and I'll never forget. Like actually at the time, Brody Smith was one of my coaches, and he was all about social media, so he would just come around and he came in my face with his phone, and he's like, "Java, say something for kids back home to come to CUC camp," and I said, "CUC camp, go there." And I just said it. I just naturally said it, and like he just started cracking up, and the kids started cracking up, and next thing you know, it's stuck, and here we are 7 years later. 8 years total, like just CUC camp, go there.
Amazing. Well, it's amazing to have you here for this week, the presenting sponsor of the CUC Junior Division CUC Camp. So great to talk to you. We're going to take a really short break. We'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes with the second half action of TORO versus Mischief. Welcome back to second half action here of the Canadian Ultimate Championships Junior Showcase game, the start of the 2018 campaign for all of these teams. And we've got TORO leading 8-4 over Mischief. TORO, the home team. It's Becky Thompson up in the booth, joined by Brendan Tan. And Brendan, we saw a pretty good first half, a little bit shaky from both teams, maybe a few nerves at trying to get the kinks out in the second half.
Absolutely. I'm sure both coaches, both coaching sets were talking to their players like, guys, it's just the first game. You get a huge opportunity here with a big crowd in front of you. Just go out there and play your hearts out.
So TORO on offense to start the second half as Tracy Dow moves that one upfield.
Yeah, TORO's really figured out this four-person Misfit Cup. They know that they have to use their around shots, and they're doing a great job moving the disc the whole field and finding those spots upfield.
Santacono now finds that reset to Dow. Dow, one of the few members of the Team Canada U20 women's team on this TORO team, shoots that around, and that one's faked off as now Dow goes up line. And then Lunn into the end zone. Another point for Lunn. And that is 9-4. And just like that, TORO extends their lead to 5.
Yep, TORO showing why they're on top, really showing their poise there against the zone in the end zone set. Not rushing anything now, not forcing anything. Jaden making a great grab there as that disc was just slightly behind her. But, I mean, we can't say anything bad about what Mischief's been doing. They've been playing fantastic defense, lockdown in the zone, lockdown person to person. TORO's just been doing a great job as well on offense. And sometimes offense has the advantage, and they're just going to win.
Yeah, and you see the way that TORO in that end zone set, they looked off about 2 or 3 options before finding Lunn. So a great job by that end zone stack to clear quickly to create that space as well. And that's what the top teams really do. They cut for each other, and they cut or clear, just as quickly as they cut as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those little things not everybody is really thinking about out there. But as you said, the top coaches are telling their players, or I'm sure everybody's telling their players, but the top teams, you can see they really work it into their system. They make it a huge part to just get out just as fast as they got there.
So TORO extending their lead to 5 points over Mischief to start the second half. And I think that was the first 0 turnover point we've seen from TORO as well. What a great way to start the second half. Come out with a big punch to say we are capable of holding on to the disc for this entire possession as well.
Absolutely. They're really showing their stuff. They're great throws. This pull a little bit low, but she's going to get a nice bound, and they're going to end up on the Mischief half of the field.
Centered now for Mischief. Going 1 and 2 on these dishes. Zhao shoots the inside upfield. Merritt now. Back to the middle. Emma Young struggling to find an option, so she's going to shoot that one deep, and that one hangs up, but picked off by the TORO defense. A little bit of traffic there, well read to bring that D down.
Absolutely. That's a great job by the TORO defender to get in there just before the receiver is about to touch the disc and break up the pass.
TORO now shoots to the near sideline. That one's shot upfield, reeled in.
That was a great read there from Jasmine Ulalan to get one hand on the disc, not quite catch it, but then get it on the second effort. And then there, just a fantastic little grab there from Tiffany. Shoulder high, beating her defender to the disc, even though she had position, and just bringing in another break for TORO.
Tiffany Zhang missed that first opportunity to go up for the disc, but comes out with the big horizontal layout. Looked like she absolutely flew to get that disc, and TORO, again, just putting themselves a little bit above Mischief with those extra plays and a little bit of extra effort for some of those discs.
Absolutely. TORO really showing off their athleticism, their throwing, really not showing that they're not scared. They're not scared of the big crowd. They're not scared of the first game of the tournament. They're just going to do TORO things. And right now it really shows. They're up big, 10-4 at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever those coaches said in that halftime huddle has definitely had an impact here. And teams just taking that second to come together. And like you said, not a lot we can say poorly about Mischief. They're playing a good game. They've come out, they've cleaned up a lot of what they were working on. That last point there was just such good defense by TORO, shutting down the options, forcing Emma Young to take that deep shot, and then also coming down with the big D in the end zone. So not a lot we can say poorly towards either team at this point. A good game all around.
Absolutely. Mischief doing everything right, but again, TORO just getting that one extra inch to get that block. Maybe next time she swings for it, she doesn't hit it at all. Mischief comes down with the disc, and suddenly it's a 9-5 game instead of a 10-4 game.
Mischief back out on offense. TORO looking to put a few nails in the coffin maybe as well and run away with this game. Pull goes up. Centered now to the middle for Mischief. TORO again in the shutdown person defense. Mischief struggling to find an option. They go around to the far side looking for Zhao, but that one is bobbled off of her hand to give TORO another opportunity.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mischief really coming up on the bad end of those kind of close shots there. That one just bouncing off the receiver's hand. We've seen TORO have those same shots themselves where they come down with it. And so it could go either way if those drop for either team or if those are collected by Mischief.
A big layout for TORO to try to catch that disc as it was sailing a little bit out of her reach, but just off of her hand. And like you said, Brett, a matter of inches in this game right now.
Absolutely. TORO coming down here with a zone now on the corner. They're on a tough corner there. Great shot, though, over the top. Find a receiver. Now on the close side. Mischief doing a great job flowing down this open sideline.
Shooting upfield. The layout and that one again, just inches away from a catch there. A good bid from the Mischief player.
Absolutely. It's so close. If she catches that, suddenly a huge momentum shift. Mischief is really firing on all cylinders, and they might just bring this game back. as it stands, they're going to have to try and bring it back on defense, maybe come up with a huge layout block perhaps, a nice run through D again.
Floaty Huck goes up, and it's reeled in by TORO. Coming down with that grab is Huang Fu.
Yeah, Huang Fu doing a great job reading that better than all the other players on the field. She's going to make the one-handed grab, and then she's just going to dish it calmly back to her handlers and get back in the stack. That's what you want to see from your players.
Another layout attempt, and again, the disc just needs to be reeled in just a couple inches for both of these teams here. Allow those players, their receivers, to make a bid on it. Back in play now for Mischief. Up line. That one's reeled in by Zhao. Zhao shoots the over backhand. Now centered to the middle.
Great grab there on the close sideline from Mischief, and then great move up line. Oh, unfortunately, once again, just off the hands of the receivers. They're so close every single time, but this one, again, just going to bounce off her hands and float away.
Bernice Zhao there going 1 and 2 and looked upfield to Amy Guo, but Guo just off of her hand, and again, just a slight difference in how this game is going right now. And there's a big D from Mischief, reading that play better than her opponent there.
Yeah, Miyu Shiraiwa doing a great job coming in for that block, giving her team that short field turnover and perhaps a chance to put this one in.
Mischief now just under 20 yards to the end zone. Annie Wu with the disc. And the hand block from Rachel Cook. Rachel Cook, absolutely standout player on the field right now for me, Brett. Another one of the Team Canada U20 players, and she's looking to go deep right away. Chasing that one down, and that sails into her hands. 10 yards out of the end zone. And Catherine Kwok right up line for the assist from Cook, and TORO just coming back with a vengeance down the field, Brett.
Yeah, Rachel Cook doing a great job there, showing like she has infinite energy, getting the block, running 20 yards deep, running 10 yards under when she saw nobody had it, and then running another 50 yards deep to catch the huck, and then throw a perfect pass to her teammate for the goal. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And what great patience as well. 10 yards out of the end zone, looked off 2 opportunities before Kwok got open for her up line as well. And that is a sign of such a great player to be able to get that D, get the huck, and you've got the energy from the crowd as well. So able to reel that in, take a deep breath, and TORO just showing a little bit of why they are the number 2 seed in the tournament now in the second half.
Absolutely. It's still an early game, early in the tournament. We don't know how other teams will look 2 days from now, 3 days from now, but it's a great showing from TORO. I mean, what can we say for Mischief? Maybe the next day they come in with 80% of those off-the-finger passes, and if that happened today, this could be an 11-10 game.
Yeah, it's a any given day kind of situation right now for Mischief. We've seen them create so many good plays right there. Arguably should have been a score in the end zone, worked it all the way up, a wide open cut to the end zone, just another bobble. So like you said, if that goes the other way on a different day, this game could be a completely different story. TORO in the driver's seat now as they come back down on defense, looking into a person set. And that goes deep, and some contact. I think there's going to be a call here. That looked like both of those players would have had a play on that disc if it weren't for the contact in the middle of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw both players sprawled out on the field after that one. You can imagine they both saw the same thing and tried to get to that same spot. Unfortunately, when great minds think alike, they collide.
Yeah, just a bit of incidental contact there, but if there was a play on the disc, still a foul to be called. Kathy Lee, no contest on the call, so Kathy Lee will get the disc. Just under 10 yards from the end zone here for Mischief. Finds the reset, and that one bobbled off the hands of Hannah Samuel, and again, the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, you can really tell at this point. TORO early on had a lot of those small drops, those bobbles, but they've really cleaned up Mischief. Unfortunately, still having those small bobbles and key moments as this game goes on.
Santacono now on the far side. Gets Haley Smith, and Haley Smith shooting that one deep. Lund tries to track it down, but a bit of a inside-out edge on that disc, and it sails out of bounds.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little too much angle. No chance for Jaden there to save it.
So the disc will be brought back in by Lamb. Centered to the middle. Hamorabon back to Lamb. TORO shutdown defense allows the near side reset though. And that one picked off by a TORO defender just too far out of the reach of the receiver as Kathy Lee couldn't make a play on that one.
Yeah, it's absolutely just the smallest things that are really giving Mischief trouble this game. Their shots just a little too far, just a little too high. And as you can see, TORO, their shots have been so far on the money.
Yeah, Doris Zhang shooting that one right away to the end zone. A nice little flick shot that just went over the heads of everybody. Not sure the receiver there, Montana Dennis, even knew that she was in the end zone when she caught that disc, but the observer is signaling for a goal, and we're up 12-4 now for TORO over Mischief.
Yep, now it's a matter of TORO just staying calm, staying confident, and just finishing out this game as quickly as possible. And Mischief, they're really at this point where they have nothing to lose. Just keep working their systems, do what they know how to do, and just kind of prep themselves for the days to come, as they have more game than just one.
So TORO now looking to close this game out quickly. There's about 20 minutes of time left in this game, so time definitely not on the side of Mischief here. If they were to go on a run, the clock is running down quickly now, so that does make it hard to do. Although, that being said, going on a run can still set them up in a good position going into the rest of the week.
Absolutely, and give them a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, showing them that, yeah, we can go on a run even against the best teams here in any given moment.
Both these teams will face Mofo from Winnipeg and Bonfire, the other two teams in their pool, Bonfire out of BC as well. So two other very good teams. It's a very competitive pool with the top 8 scenario that we have here, them being in 2 pools. So lots of competition here, and a miscommunication there for Mischief, just maybe unsure who is picking up the disc as Emma Young brings it back, and the layout block from TORO. What a chance that was for the layout Callahan, but an incredible D from TORO. Full extension for that block.
That was an unbelievable block. She essentially covered 2 players, covering the handler with the disc as well as the handler that she was trying to center it to. And my goodness, did she come up with a fantastic layout block.
And that one unfortunately bobbled, and unfortunate because that block was so incredible. You want to see your players come down with that. Mischief taking advantage this time, going right back the other way. 2 long shots in a row. That one's brought down.
Yeah, great to see Mischief is just unfazed by what just happened. Somebody just made a crazy block, but they don't mind. They're going to play, do their thing. They're going to move quick. And unfortunately, their shot a little bit too far there. So TORO's going to have another shot.
Rachel Cook just getting a little bit excited on that one. Not something we've seen her do too much through the course of this game, but had a wide open receiver running deep for her there as well, as the bid is too short for Mischief. And we really, if there's any way for us to sum up this game, it is a matter of inches, just those small differences between these two teams that has led TORO to have such a big lead here.
Absolutely. It's been TORO making those crazier catches that you don't expect people to always make. Point in case right there. Fantastic layout grab. Sometimes you catch it, sometimes you drop it. We've seen Mischief dropping it a lot more, and TORO's just been catching it a lot more.
Yeah, catch and drops. It sounds so simple to say, but that is the basics of Ultimate here as well. And TORO just executing those simple things so much better right now as they work it up the field. It looks like a pit called in the middle of the field. We haven't seen a lot of calls in this game either here, Brett.
Yeah, it's been a very clean game so far. The few calls we've seen, quick discussions. We saw one observer come in with when there was a little bit of confusion, but it was resolved quickly, and both teams haven't been upset about anything so far. They've been really happy about how they've been doing, and they're just playing Frisbee.
Disc shot upfield. Lyle now centers back to Cook. Cook looking for an option. Shoots it upfield, and another bobble out of the hands gives Mischief an opportunity here to hold.
Yeah, Mischief not giving up. They're still playing hard defense. They're still pressuring Toro, making them work hard, not giving them anything easy.
Emma Young, that one shot behind where she was cutting to, but manages to get her hand back to it.
Yeah, those are the kind of grabs we're talking about. Pressure right on your hip, and you're still able to make it. Those are the ones they needed all game long, and unfortunately, they haven't really been going their way.
Now upfield, Mischief 10 yards from the goal line. Finds an upline option, 1 yard out now. Santiago shoots, looking for that 7 cut, but the poached defense from Toro was ready for that one. And they immediately shoot deep, and another long point we're seeing here, Brett. I think, Mischief desperate to try and get a few points on the board, and Toro maybe just eagerly trying to win this game a little bit faster.
Yeah, they're trying to end it as soon as possible. Unfortunately for them, their shots have started to falter a little bit. Perhaps it's fatigue, perhaps it's just percentages. When you take enough of them, sometimes you're going to miss.
Brittany So now finds Young. Young fakes the around. Looks upfield. Finds Rachel Wang. Wang shoots that one. And that's going to float into the hands of So on the end zone line. Looks for Madden Krasnick, and that one's picked off by Smith. Sorry, that's Lyle with the D there.
So close every single time, but they just haven't found that last pass so far tonight.
Timeout called by Toro. This has been a very long time.
Toro opting for the timeout call after many turnovers back and forth. I'm sure the coaches will tell the players, okay, maybe we holster a little bit. If it's really there, go for it, but don't force anything. Take your time. Use your throws more. 10 yards, 20 yards, okay. And just try and walk it in this time.
Yeah, maybe at this point a good chance to call a play where you are focused on those undercuts rather than looking for that deep option. Generate a little bit of that flow that we've seen a lot from Toro so far in the early parts, especially of the second half. We've seen a lot better play from both of these teams. So like you said there, Brett, a good chance just to refocus and dial it in, close this game out. They're only 3 points away from the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And being 3 points away with 23 odd minutes left on the clock, you don't want it to take those 23 minutes. You want to try and do it as fast as you can, but without obviously sacrificing your quality of play that could have perhaps set you up with good habits for the later rounds.
So Toro will head back onto the field to set themselves up. It looks like they're going to be set up in a split stack. They've got 2 handlers back, 3 cutters on the near side and 2 on the far. So definitely calling some sort of play here, as Mischief will immediately set up in that zone to try and stop that play as well.
Yeah, the Toro handlers have been doing a great job faking, making that Mischief zone move around and not just zone in on them.
Cook shoots that one over top. And the D from Mischief.
Yeah, Brittany So doing a great job seeing that one coming. But then again, Mischief just hasn't found that last shot into the end zone. It's been great anywhere in the middle of the field, but as soon as they get to that red zone, they get a little jumpy, and they're just missing on those final shots.
Young getting excited there. She did have the receivers going, but again, just a little bit of that excitement and that desire to get a quick point playing against them here as Rachel Cook shoots upfield. That one's reeled in. Looking to the inside now. Cook is going to unleash a backhand. Receiver tracking it down into the end zone for the point. Jasmine Ulalan, that Team Canada U20 connection there between those two players as well. And just like that, Toro finds their rhythm again, 13-4.
Great shot. Maybe the coaches said instead of taking less shots, they said take better shots, because that was a much better shot. And a great read there by Jasmine Ulalan to bring it in and bring Toro just 1 goal closer to ending this game.
Rachel Cook, a dominant force for this Toro team. We've seen her on all sides of the disc, getting Ds, throwing big assists, getting the points as well, and just acting as a general for this Toro offense, commanding the field. So a great player and a threat that a lot of other teams are going to have to look out for as well.
Yeah, definitely. She put herself on the watch list now after a big game in the showcase with everybody watching. So I'm sure when Mofo is going to play Toro, when Bonfire is going to play Toro, they're going to say, hey, watch out for Rachel Cook.
Absolutely. Mischief back on offense now. They've done a lot of good things in this game. We've talked about it several times now, but they're definitely going to have a few takeaways for improvement too. And I think we've been able to see how Toro has cleaned up their play in the second half. And Mischief, I expect to see them later in this week doing the exact same thing. And like you said, maybe changing a little bit of how they come down with those grabs and settling themselves down on the field.
Yeah, exactly. I expect them to be a completely different team once they've started to find their comfort later on in the tournament. Maybe when they're just on their field playing against their opponent, nothing else to worry about, not their friends watching, nothing else, just playing Frisbee. I'm sure they'll look a lot better if we see them again.
Big pull downfield. That one's brought in by Annie Wu. Person set here from Toro. And that one, again, just bobbled out of the hands of Bernice Zhao. And Mischief really going to have to find a way to settle themselves down and catch Frisbees, as cheesy as it sounds.
Yeah, I hope the coaches are telling them after this game, Toro didn't really beat you guys. You guys really made it tough on yourselves by not making those catches when you needed to, not making those throws easy for your teammate when you needed to.
Annie Wu on the far side now for Mischief, going 1 and 2. The mark now set for Toro as she runs out of options but manages to find Santiago. Looks like possibly a stall call. Wu did have the disc in her hands for quite a while.
It looks like it'll be contested, coming in at 8.
And Wu shoots that one deep. A great shot, reeled in just outside of the end zone. Mischief on the doorstep, but looking for the reset option, and it looks like there to me, Brett, just a few too many people trying to cut to the same places there for Mischief.
Yeah, they're really showing that once they get to that red zone, they get just a little bit too excited because you see everybody moving there, not really a set structure, giving the chance for one person to make their move and finish these points.
Right away, the disc goes back all the way to the end zone. That might be the first completed huck point we've seen here from Mischief as well. And Toro giving up an opportunity to take this game to 14. Mischief takes advantage. What a great shot there.
Absolutely. That was a picture-perfect huck. You couldn't ask for anything better from your teammates there. Toro now has a big task in front of them. They don't want this game to go on too much longer. They can come out here, put in a great hold, and that'll set them up nicely to finish this game just in time, just before the 10-minute mark perhaps.
Yeah, and for a team like Mischief at this point as well, they're probably the team that's going to want to take advantage of this time, figure a few of those things out, and also force a team like Toro to go all the way to the hard cap as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The more points Mischief can play on this first game, on the first evening, the more it will help them later on in the tournament. Every point is a little bit more experience, a little bit more adjustment, a little bit more comfortability is gained each time. So the more points they can play, the better.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other hand, we've seen Toro figure out their systems in the second half of this game. So at this point, we've talked about it already, they're going to want to close this out, go home, rest up, get ready for their pool play games tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Toro still up by quite a bit here. They lead 13-5 in this junior showcase game presented by CUC Camps, our title sponsor for this junior event. You'll be hearing their name a lot on our broadcast throughout the course of the week. Definitely excited to have them as Toro now in possession. Mischief bringing back their 4-2-1 zone. The around flick into some pressure, and that one's picked off by the defender.
A fantastic adjustment there from Mischief, knowing that Toro is going to go for that shot. This time the defender was ready and makes a huge grab to gain possession.
Kristen Ho coming down with that one. Mischief still looking for their first break of the game, reeled in on the near sideline. Katie Lamb shoots upfield, and that one just bobbled out of the hands of Joanne Yuan. And Yuan there could see how badly she wanted to make that grab, but very good defense here from Mischief as well.
Absolutely. We were starting to see them now make those tough grabs. The defender on your back, the tight shot, in behind you.
Santacono shoots that one upfield. The big bid. Just flying and maybe winding herself a little bit. Or a cramp. Looks like got her leg in the air there, trying to get stretched out. And interesting to see a cramp so early on in a tournament here as well, Brett.
Yeah, it's tough to imagine. I mean, it has been very hot and humid in Toronto, in Brampton, all around. So it's understandable if you haven't been drinking enough water these past couple of days, you will not be ready to play Frisbee. Oh, but she's quick to pop up, though. So looks like it was small. She'll take an injury sub, and I'm sure she'll rest for probably the rest of this game until she has to play again tomorrow.
Yeah, Jasmine Ulala, and one of the players who is also heading to the Under-20 World Championship in Waterloo next week. So 2 full weeks of Ultimate Games here as well. So definitely going to want to adjust that going on later into the week.
Absolutely. They have to be very careful, making sure they're maintaining their bodies, drinking a lot of water, making sure they're stretching and warmed up properly, or they will be in for a tough time coming these next 2 weeks.
So Mischief, a chance to go all the way back the other way. We're still looking for their first break of the game. To the middle now. TORO doing a really good job of taking away these under options here for Mischief. And that one picked off the under pressure on Hannah Samuel. Not too many options for the handler there to take, though.
Yeah, TORO not giving up anything easy. They want to end this game. They want to play their best game till the very, very end, whether it's a 1-point game or it's a 5-point game. Santacono
now shoots the around flick to the far side of the end zone. That one will be brought in. A visionary shot from Moro Santacono, and it's game point here for TORO.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot there. The receiver had to toe the line just barely, but she did a great job as well, catching that disc, keeping her feet in, putting TORO 1 point away from closing out this opening game.
Yeah, the receiver looking fairly unfazed there, and TORO, like you said, game point 14-5 here. They've got 13 minutes left to go, so hard to imagine it'll take the full 13 minutes to finish this game out. But a great job by Mischief there on that point. We saw their defense tightened up. They were looking for good shots, but that tight person defensive set here from TORO as well has been a challenge for Mischief all in the evening.
Absolutely. TORO has really brought it. They brought their A game. They brought their 100%. They're not going to, they haven't let Mischief do anything easy. And this has been a great experience for Mischief. They're going to know that if they want to play at the top, if they want to beat the top, they have to be ready for that kind of pressure.
So Mischief looking to extend this game for the full time, take advantage of this opportunity to learn from their mistakes in this game as well. TORO ready to close this one out. They lead 14-5, game point here. Mischief still haven't managed to get a break on this TORO team either.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them had multiple chances, but yeah, their undoing has really been their last 10 yards of just before the end zone. They really haven't been able to convert in that space yet. So hopefully tomorrow, going later into the week, they really clean that one aspect up of their game, and they'll have plenty of close games.
So that disc lands out of bounds, and I think an offside call again on TORO. So Mischief get to set up again at half here. A good chance to execute a play as well.
Absolutely. TORO is showing that they've played a good game, but even they have something to work on. They haven't really quite kept it onside, and it could be very disadvantageous if you keep giving the other team such good field position.
Disc now 10 yards out of the end zone. Emma Young, another shot behind her, and she keeps that in her hands. Looks to Madden Krasnick to the end zone. The big clap catch just to make sure that one was in her hands, and that is a great play here from Mischief. Makes this game 14-6.
Absolutely. That was just fantastic ultimate for Mischief. They're really starting to hit their groove, maybe a little bit late for this game, but just in time for the rest of the tournament, and so we're going to hope to see some great things from them going forward, Becky.
Yeah, absolutely. Long tournament here to go still. Lots of games, and that's exactly what you want to see here is Mischief really start to sort that out to prepare for those games as well. They still want to finish top 2 in their pool, give themselves shots at those quarterfinals and crossover matches later in the week. We will be bringing you lots of that live stream action as well. We've got 3 games a day here, 4 games on Wednesday. All of this, again, brought to you by CUC Camps, our title sponsor for the junior division here at the 2018 Canadian Ultimate Championships. And Brett, I got to say, it's been a pretty good start to this tournament here as well.
Absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better game. You see a lot of huge plays, layout blocks, huge skies. I mean, that's what you want to get the excitement going in the first game of a tournament. Hopefully now all these players watching have been inspired, and whenever they get on the live stream, whenever they get out on the field, they are just giving their 100% and trying to do everything they can.
See if Mischief can get their first break of the game here to extend this one. And it looks like the puller there, just a little bit afraid of that offside. Told our team to stop and is going to reset.
Yeah, Mischief, if there's one thing that Mischief did perfectly all game, they haven't stepped offside a single time while still having fantastic pulls like this one.
The zone set again here for Mischief. TORO bobbles that one but keeps it in play. Resets back to Lunn. Jaden Lunn now looking for an option. Goes for the over the top to find a receiver. Near sideline now for TORO. Zhang, Doris Zhang shoots around, finds Santacono. Over to Lunn. Tracy Dow now shooting the around flick. And that's Lunn on the near side.
Yeah, I think TORO has not been scared to use those over the tops. They are fully confident that they can hit them, and they have been hitting them.
Tracy Dow around to the end zone. Santacono with the grab, the contact. Both of those players going into the same space, and they've collide. Santacono manages to come down with that one, but we'll see if that point stands. Hard to see what exactly happened there, Brett.
Yeah, it's tough. The Mischief defender saw that disc coming, really tried to get into a position to grab that disc. Santacono also knowing that disc was coming a little bit short, she went right to it, and they just met at the exact same place at the exact same time. Hopefully she is okay, though. Coaches are checking her out. A little bit shaken up, I'm sure, after such a big collision.
So we're going to be bringing you lots of live stream action throughout the week. We've got 3 more exciting pool play games for you tomorrow. Starting us off in the Junior Open Division, we're going to have Mofo versus Ignite at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be a big game as well. Mofo, the reigning championships from the Junior Open Division last year. After that, at 1 p.m., we're going to have T10 versus Vortex, also in the Junior Open Division. And we're going to finish it off with a West Coast matchup between Vortex and Eclipse at 5 p.m. in the Junior Women's Division. Eclipse, previously known as Misfit as well, reigning 2-time champions, looking to three-peat this year. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow. Tune in live to UltimateCanada.tv. Brett will be commentating some of those games.
I will be, and Becky, I'm sure you will be as well. So.
We've got a great team up here this week. Bobby Anderson, Allison Fisher will be joining us as well. So listen in. You can also tweet at us. We'll put out our social media info tomorrow. Ask us any questions you have, and it's going to be a good week. It looks like the players here are just going to take a second. Medical staff just making sure the player is okay still. So it's definitely going to be a good week. Hopefully we won't see too many injuries like this one here. Definitely a lot of contact, a hard play there.
Yeah, it can be really tough when both players see the same thing and they both try and get there at the exact same time. They really want to earn that point for their team.
So no call on this play.
The ruling we got from the field, we received from the field, it will be a goal for TORO. That will be them taking this game 15-6. Our injured Mischief friend is looking better now. She's just taking a second to relax, which is great to see. She'll have some time now to rest, recuperate at the hotel with her friends. And then tomorrow she'll be back in action, I'm sure, ready to take on Mofo and Bonfire.
So overall, a great game here for the Junior Showcase game. Great to see the junior women out here. It's the first time we've had the junior women in the showcase game, and it's not the last we're going to see of great ultimate here this week. We hope you'll tune in with us tomorrow. Live action starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. For Becky Thompson and Brett Tan, it's been a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.